A number of universities are studying the effects of the sipo tea in their fight against cancer. Mamiraua is a large chemist shop that is waiting to make us happy. On the mezzanine, another group of beneficiaries call our attention. A group of white-lipped saguinos chirp away like birds. Surely it's to honor their prey, for they're going to have eggs for breakfast. These small macaque of the zebu genus are less fearsome, and a few meters further down from the nest await their daily ration of calcium. The eggshells discarded by their associates provide an extra doses of vitamins that their little bodies appreciate. 8 different types of primates live hidden away in the Mamiraua jungle, and some of these of customs unknown to us. Because of their small size and the oversized roofing that hides them, they're not always easy to see, and even less so, as you can imagine, when there is a camera around. For these primates, lunchtime is a time for forwardness. But fortunately, we were in the right place and with good reflexes. The renovation processes occur here in the humid jungle without any misalignments. The elder trees die so that other organisms can become stronger, a chain in which man should never have interfered. The largest water lily in the world doesn't need to be on land to live. It nourishes and sustains itself thanks to the river, the master. It's the Victoria regia, a plant capable of supporting the weight of an 8-year-old child without breaking. The Mamiraua Reserve is the largest breeding colony of some of the birds that we have seen throughout the Amazon River basin. They arrive here from afar, species that have taken advantage of the low river tide to bore their nests into the newly designed shores. The cortaguas, or water cutters, and these charranes have made of this beach their settlement. The predators know this and pursue them relentlessly for hours. That is why the baby chicks leave the nests almost immediately after birth. They are capable of resolving the situation all by themselves. Mamiraua has always been this way, a shiny thread in the middle Solimois, a paradise within a paradise, a bubble isolated from the maddening crowd, which, as in other parts of the Amazonia, was also mortally threatened by speculators. Today, this active community is also the mutual home of all those people who have come together in a project that seeks no monetary gain, and who have seen the profitability and calm that could not be achieved with less sensible projects. Nature is right there, as it always has been, for the enjoyment of a well-intentioned mankind, and not as an element to be consumed during a few generations. "517 amphibious species live in Brazil, and a large number of them peep out at life in Mamiraua, camouflaged so as not to be crushed, but beautiful in the eyes of those who deserve it." Other workers of the large jungle factory are more forward, particularly at snack time. The coatis toss everything around on the jungle floor while searching for ants. These mammals have an extensive menu, but the prized sweets are hidden inside the antholes, although on ground level they don't look as sweet. The nozzle is dominated by a mobile nose which permits sniffing here and there without missing out on any of the information that the Jungle Book provides them. With its claws, the coati earns its bread and defends itself from its enemies. A hound dog or two know what we're talking about. These amusing carnivorous animals are kin to the raccoons and have the same roguish look about them. They live in large family groups and have very few enemies in their habitats. Perhaps the tapir could be considered an enemy, due more to its size than an evil disposition. The tapir is known around here as the anta, a good-hearted giant that can weigh up to 300 kilograms, and in spite of being a night animal, has very small eyes. Its compass is located in its nose, a proboscis similar to that of the elephants, with which it gently tastes the vegetation before carrying it to its mouth. All of these living beings, and many others that have not posed in front of our cameras, live together without conflict in the state of the Amazon, in the confluence of the Solimões, Japurá, and Auati-Paraná rivers. In an example of conservation and consensual development, which is the Mamiraua Reserve, and we don't want to leave until you meet a jacare species that is highly in danger of extinction. The blue jacare, an outlaw in the majority of the Amazon waters, still maintains a healthy population here. The River Coast people do not consider it an enemy, but just another element that belongs to the clean landscape that natural tourism wants to see. The blue jacare is a vibrating symbol, another reason to come and visit Mamiraua. Our travels through a few of Brazil's protected areas lead to the sea, as does the Amazon. This way, we reach the archipelago of Fernando de Noronha, 112 square kilometers of oceanic nature, still unperturbed by mass tourism. A national park formed of 21 islands and breakwaters. An Eden that was once an inferno, because from the year 1737 up until 1942, Fernando de Noronha was the place where all the prisoners of the Republic were deported, both common and political prisoners, to rot away. These lizards must have been witness to all of it. They are an endemic species and cannot be found anywhere else on the planet save for this archipelago. They have been serving their life sentence on these bluffs for millions of years with dignity, just like the hundreds of prisoners that are buried here in the archipelago cemetery. They are called mabuias and basically feed upon endemic arboreals like themselves, in this case a burra de leche, or milk donkey, a tree that oozes a gummy milk like sap. The mabuia maculata is a lizard that is fond of water and is not a picky eater, not turning up its nose up at anything. Its drinking trough is filled every night by the mist and the dew. Simple crevice is a spring for these thirsty lizards, ignoring everything else. Dozens meet here each morning, like dinosaurs escaped from the anger of Nemesis, and who evidently do not mind the passing of time. Since the national park was inaugurated, other reptiles have found the tranquility they need to reproduce on the beaches of León and Sancho. Various species of marine turtles are protected and studied by a project that began caring for them in 1984. The Endemic project has been able to put a stop to the captures that were endangering this beautiful and defenseless green turtle. Over 200 specimens have been marked since they began their work, having registered with care the birth of 43,000 turtles in this cove. A few green turtle specimens have weighed up to 300 kilograms, but the biologists that work in the Endemic project are not weighing them today to commercialize their meat nor their fat. They seek only to gather information on an animal that up until not too long ago was being massacred. We cannot deny the beauty of these objects made from their shells, but times have changed. We cannot afford certain luxuries, and Brazilian law currently forbids the commercialization of these projects. A national park is of no use without its natural inhabitants, and the green turtle, clumsily seeking the salt water, is one of the most important inhabitants of Fernando de Noronha. For the time being, return to the sea what belongs to it.